All right, y'all. I'm out here at the potato bed. Here is the plan, okay? I am going to try something a little different this year. I'm going to trench however much space I need for the number of potatoes I have. And I'm going to trench it kind of deep though. So I'm not going to trench it and then completely fill it back in. I'm gonna trench it deep, partially fill it, and then let that other soil stay on the side. So that way I can basically hill it in, but inside the trench, if that makes sense. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the trench. That is actually a potato that was left in here. It's kind of rotting though, so anyway, I just went ahead and left it down there on the end. Actually, I'll probably move it to this end because this will be the end of the potatoes, so that way if it doesn't make it, I didn't waste that corner. But anyway, this is the trench. This thing only goes up to 5 inches. Not sure how tall it is or how long it is, but you can see the trench is deeper than this, so I'm gonna say 5's right there. Sorry, got you down too low. So, maybe about 8 inches, 7.5, 8 inches deep. So, like I said, I'm gonna move this. Don't really want to touch it, but I actually might pull this down a little further. And here are the potatoes. Just toss them over for now. Okay. One on that end. One here, one right there. So I'm gonna pull this down a little further so I can spread them out a little more. I'm probably gonna push this down further too. So give me just a moment. All right. So I shifted that one down, and as you can see, I have one more potato than I started with, and I have these over here. So when I pulled these last year, and just about every year I think I've done this, I've left some behind. Really for them to just sprout on their own, and they will, but interesting, I had some little ones, but I went ahead and put that one back in. I have these little ones up here on the side that I pulled out, so I don't know if I'll try to drop those in or not, but it's first step. And what I'm gonna do now is just pull some soil over. And just lightly cover them. Well, I say lightly. It's got a nice layer of soil over it. And that's what I'm going to do with all of these. And that'll be it for this step. Okay, so the question now is, do I want to fill the entire trench in up to that level? And some of these are a little higher than others, but I just raked it over and covered them. But yeah, whether or not I want to go ahead and fill that in or just leave it where it's just covering the potatoes, and then let those spaces fill in as I put more soil in. And I brought some bone meal out too, because that's what I'm going to use on these, at least for now. And I didn't think about it just then, so I might wait until I need to put some more soil on top of it. But that's step one, and I'll do the same thing with my other potatoes on the other side. Hey, it is April 26th, so 22 days since I put these in the ground. Let's see, whatever I had right there didn't do anything, or hasn't up to this point. But for the most part, they look good. There was something that had been digging out here before I put anything in here, so that's why I got all this stuff on here to try to keep critters from digging my stuff up. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So I think on this end, on this side as well, that side and this side, I think that was where I put just some that I found off in the ground. Look at that. There's one growing in the middle of that. Okay, well, that's not what's supposed to be happening there. Anyway, I think I brought this out with me initially, and I didn't put any out. So I'm gonna put some of this out and then push the soil over. I don't think I actually have enough soil mounded up in the middle to fully cover these. We'll see. I'll cover them as much as I can, and then I may buy some soil because this isn't, I mean, there's a good bit of space. Tire board worth of space. So I may get some more soil to mound up on each individual mound, whatever. But for now, I'm just gonna put the bone meal on and push the soil out to the sides. All right, well, there it is. I actually did have enough to mound it just a little bit, so, and there's still some loose in the middle, so I think that's gonna work pretty well. That little kind of spot in the middle right there, I keep finding little potatoes, so there was a little sprout sticking up, so I went ahead and pulled it out and stuck it under the bottom over there on the end. Yep. That's it. I'll see you on the next update. Alright, here we are a few weeks later. This is where they stand. I did cover them up some more after that last clip that you saw. I've covered them up once or twice since then. I think twice. And I added some more soil in here. I think I added some raised bed mixer or something. Probably because of how barky it is. But yeah, I put a couple of bags of that in here. So I put some where I just poured it directly on the plants. And then I put some in the middle. And then I think I came back again and spread that from the middle over onto the plants. I don't really remember, y'all, but they're pretty tall. They are pretty tall. So I just came out here yesterday and took, I still had some of the fencing stuff over it, over the bed. I just took that off yesterday because I put these sweet potatoes in between and on the edges. So I went ahead and took that off. But yeah, this is where we are. So from my understanding, at the point that they start flowering, I don't know if it's when they're at this stage where they have the buds or once the flowers actually open, but somewhere in there, one of those is when you're supposed to stop healing them, which I'm done healing them anyway. At this point, let me see, let me go on this side. So you can see this side over here, they're higher than the bed. So, oh hey, that sunk in right there. Something in there? Something probably tried to go in there. Just cover that up. But yeah, they're on the edges as well. If they were closer to the middle, I could probably heal them some more, but with them being right on the edges like this right here, see this, like, it doesn't have much space before that would be running off the side of the bed. It has more space on that side over there, as you can see, but I'm still just not planning on doing that. So we are done with these until they are ready to harvest. Yeah, I haven't had to do much as far as watering. It's still staying pretty wet around here, so we'll see. We'll see how they do. You know, I don't know what happened over here, because you see right there where I just pushed that in, you see how this looks? This is the only spot that looks bad. All the rest of it looks good. Well, that leaf right there, but that's probably because of how I had it bent under. But yeah, the rest of them look fine. It's just this spot right here where it was open right there. So I don't know if something messed with that or what. I don't really know what happened over here. But, alright, that's the update. That's the update. I'm hoping for a good harvest this year, because they look really good. This is the best the plants have looked since I've been doing potatoes. out here or in the other beds. So see you with the next update. Flowers are open. Or most of them are. So whichever one I put on this side has white flowers. And then the ones on this side, more of a lavender color. All right, guys, it is July 7th. The 7th or the 6th? I think it's the 7th. Hold on. Okay, yes, it is the 7th. And I am ready to pull potatoes. So, here's the thing. I know I'm ready to pull the ones on this side. Now, listen, I had to go ahead and put the sweet potatoes in, so we're just going to see what happens with that. But yeah, I know I'm ready to pull these on this side. I have like a couple of random ones like that. I don't know. I might, when I pull that one out, I might just put it back in. We'll see. But then this side over here, that's still got all these leaves and stuff on it. All these stems. I don't know what word to use there, but I'm wondering if I need to leave those. And I don't remember now which one I put on that side. And it could be that that's a bigger one, so it would need to stay in longer. I don't know. Maybe I'll just kind of stick my hand in there and see what it looks like and then decide. Something to note, so I did have ants over here, so we're gonna see how that goes. Yeah, see, there's another one that's nice and green, like it just started later. But yeah, I might go ahead and pull them. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pull them because the sweet potatoes need some space, so I'm gonna have to get these out of the way. All right, we'll get set up and see what we got. Alright, this is what I came out with. To say that I'm disappointed would be an understatement. With the amount of time and effort and intention that I put into, trying to do them right this year, and to only get that was really a waste of my time. So I don't know what else to do. So here's the thing. So I showed y'all in the beginning how these on this side were pretty much gone. Like, they're like this, right? And then the ones on the other side still had a little bit of life in them, but they were pretty bad off, right? So arguably I could have left those in longer. And I can see, like, further up the stem where it's got like these knobs and stuff where it should have been producing potatoes. But I mean, this far in, if it was gonna make a potato out of this little thing, it should have been a lot bigger than that by now. I mean, really. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see about it. I'm thinking, one thing I am thinking is, like, the place that I got my seed potatoes, which is a place that I get my bulk seeds. It's a local place. I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I think I'll actually order seed potatoes from somewhere, and that way I'll have information on them. But with me just getting just like some general varieties, I'm having to just kind of, Google information and kind of figure out, is this one that's a longer day or a shorter day, or, to maturity. Like, I don't have that information. So I probably, if I do potatoes again, I will probably order some instead of buying them there. And that's not shade to them, because part of it could just be, the soil composition, whatever. But yeah, that was a no. I could have done something else with this bed for the last 3 or however many months these have been in. So the other thing I wanted to say, so I dug down. Once I really dug my hands down in there, I was getting a few more. But I thought the whole point in healing them in was that they grow up. That was my understanding of how potatoes grow, is that they grow up the stem, which you see that, right? Where they're growing further up. So I don't know, because the only ones that were in there were deep down in the bottom where I actually put the seed potato initially. So, and maybe that's it. Maybe I needed to leave them longer and let those further up the stem grow up. But like I showed you, like, they're tiny. Like, that one's bigger. That one's a little bigger. But those are really small. So it's like, what is like 180 day or something? Like, how long do I need to leave them in here for that to turn into a decent sized potato, and for these to be bigger? Which these are probably smaller varieties anyway. But this one, I think that was supposed to be more, maybe that was going to be more like a russet. I don't really remember. Maybe these were small too, but still, there still should have been more. Especially as robust as the plants were as they were growing, I expected more. So, as I was saying, I did dig down in there, but like I told you in the beginning, I do have ants over in here, so I can only do so much of that hand digging before the ants start messing with me. So, I mean, I did what I could. So there are probably some more potatoes, some of the bigger ones, like deeper down, that I couldn't really get to in certain spots because that's where the ants are pretty heavy. But yeah, this was not it, y'all. This was not it. I'm really disappointed, and I understand that yes, I still got something, but realize as cheap as potatoes are, even if I wanted to buy this much in organic potatoes, the time that I put into this, like, yeah, it's nah, it's just not it. It's not it. My time was worth more than the cost of this many potatoes. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna have to put something out here for these ants because they're just, that's not it. And I have put some stuff out before, but yeah. Anyway, the sweet potatoes are in. We'll see what happens with them. Yeah, I need to push them back in some more, but with the ants all over the place, I don't know what is on my leg. With the ants all through here, I can't really just stick my hand in there too much to try to push them in the way I need to. So yeah, they're just however they are right now. You know, we'll see about that, about getting them back in. Maybe I can do that. I'm just do it with my foot. Let me try that. It's gonna be ants all on my feet or on my shoes. Well, that right there, I don't know if that's sweet potato roots or potato roots. Sorry, y'all. See, there's a potato right there, but it was in the middle of the ants. See them? It's ants everywhere, man. It's ant central around here, you know? It's crazy. So while I do this, there's another little one. Listen, I'm crushing these potatoes, but not the potatoes, the stems. I think they'll be okay. All right. Okay, so on here, let me just take a little seat. Let's take a seat here. Okay, so what I wanted to say, hold on. Okay, so what I wanted to say was I've been kind of seeing mixed information about growing potatoes because I've seen some stuff saying like, oh, they don't like fertile soil, yada, yada, yada. But then I've seen other things talking about, oh, they're heavy feeders. So it's like, which one is it? Do they want stuff or do they not want stuff? And y'all saw I put some stuff in there for, what did I put in there? I put bone meal or something, I think. It was supposed to be for like roots or bulbs or something. I don't remember, but I don't remember, y'all. But I put that in there and maybe I didn't need to, but even last year I didn't do that and I still didn't get very good production. So I don't know. And I wonder too if the moisture hurt it as well, because I don't know if I talked about this in the earlier videos, but we've been getting a lot of rain this year. And my hand is dirty. I have to rub my head. We've been getting a lot of rain, and I was kind of hesitant about putting them in initially because of how wet it's been. But with them being up off the ground some, I thought that would help. And they weren't like mushy or anything. Like there were some mushy ones, but I think those were the seed potatoes though. But I don't know if even though the water didn't like rot the potatoes, it may have still hindered them in some way. I don't really know. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know. But I won't have potatoes in this spot next year anyway. I gotta think of what I'm gonna do. because like I said, I probably will order potatoes. If I do them next year, I'll order some from somewhere. Like I said, so I'll just have more information. But aside from that part, I don't really know what else to do differently. Like, I healed them up this year instead of just planting them deep initially. I actually healed them in, which, supposedly is what you're supposed to do. That obviously did not really help. I don't know. I don't know. Hands are dirty. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I keep saying I don't know because I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with these. Oh my gosh, get off of me. What I'm doing wrong, what I need to do differently. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm just thinking. Trying to remember what soil is in here. I don't know. I don't remember what soil I put in these beds initially. Which, I mean, that's been a while, so any fertility that it had would probably be gone anyway by now, if it was something that had some kind of fertilizer in it. But, yeah. I don't know. So, I know it's like high nitrogen, I think is, well, yeah. High nitrogen, sweat bees, causes a lot of like leafy growth in plants. But that was part of the reason behind putting the bone meal in. Because what is that? Is that potassium or phosphorus or something else? I don't know. But I will say this. Now that I'm looking at the sweet potatoes, I do need to figure something out, because if they did that and they gave me this nice pretty green growth and had me thinking it was going to be a bunch of potatoes under there and then there weren't, I need to do something with these sweet potatoes before they get too far along and don't produce hardly anything and just end up with a whole bunch of leaves back here. So yeah, so at least in that way it was helpful, so I kind of know where things stand and can try to make some adjustments in time to still get some production out of the sweet potatoes. I just have to figure out what that is that I need to do though. So yeah. So if you are watching this and you grow good potatoes, I need your information. I need to know what am I missing? What do I need to add? What do I need to do so that I can at least try to salvage these sweet potatoes? Because they're at the point right now where I saw a few like kind of small tubers, but they're just now really ramping up. So I feel like I have time to salvage them. Hopefully. But yeah, I need to know what to do though, because I'd hate to just get that from the potatoes and then hardly get any sweet potatoes either. So that would not be good. That would not be good. Well, I'm gonna take my little harvest in the house and sulk in the shower. Oh my gosh. Okay. I do need to pick some cucumbers, so I think there's some. I know I saw at least one. Oh my gosh. These sweat bees, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can show it to you. The camera doesn't want to focus on it. There it is. They just fly around and land on you and stuff. Do y'all have those? They don't bite or sting or anything. They're just a nuisance. Hey. They're just a nuisance. We call them sweat bees. I don't know what they're called officially. But, yeah. But alright. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I need to check the cucumbers. I probably need to check the okra because there was a small one on there when I came out and made that video for y'all for this past weekend. Hold on, let me show you something. See this color on this? That's interesting. I was about to say that that was blushing, but if I remember correctly, do they ripen from the bottom? They ripen from the bottom, right, tomatoes? And this is not a it's not a Brandywine. That's the Bradley. So I'm not sure why it's got that color on it, because it's not red potato. That's a red tomato, so I'm not really sure. It might just be like sun scald or something, maybe. I don't know, but got this cucumber right here to grab, and maybe a couple more off in there. And I'm going in. So y'all have a good one. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, recommendations on the potatoes, I am all ears. Just leave it in the comments. Bye.